Hi, it is iYikKam time again. So today is July 4th, 2017. And today something happened and I decided to make this video to end the issue I'm going to share with you. Okay, Wing Chunner, we can end this thing. We don't make that. Okay. So the first thing I want to show you is a picture from the movie of the Bruce Lee. Okay, this is the picture. It said that I don't have much education, don't try to fool me. Okay, I show you this is because there are too much superiority complex and there are too much mysterious in this world, and we Wing Chunner do not need to be a second-class citizen. Okay, so today's topic for everybody seriously is this. So it said, Wing Chunner, it's time to completely drop the internal art 内家拳 Qi, Jing, Yi philosophy. Wing Chun Queen don't need those. Okay? Wing Chun Queen goes with facts of traditional Chinese martial arts, such as from Qi Ji Guang and Yellow Emperor Classic, and physics, modern physics. Okay? Now, why do I get this serious? Because I have already received many times message like this. Over here he said we need to put a stop to this one person who is going to destroy Wing Chun with the Taiji lies. Okay? Here. I have received many times, that's why I make the previous 3 YouTubes on the history of the technological history evolutions of Wing Chun. On Wing Chun is not Taiji and the effects of Wing Chun, okay, based on Qi Ji Guang and based on all evidence. And today I got this from a Taiji master, which is watching one of the video I put out there where the facts of Wing Chun. He said that, okay, you can read that and put a 3 question mark there. So what would a Wing Chun practitioner know about internal arts? If this is put with 1 question mark, I will not get offended. But when you put 3 of them, I don't care. Even if you bring the Grandmaster Top, the founder of Chen Taiji here today, I'm going to put this in front of his face. Okay? Because I don't tolerate that. We are Wing Chunner. We are not dictated by any so-called the internal arts people. We know internal arts was called internal arts in the late 1800 by the name is for Taiji, Xingyi and Bagua. That is what the name for. Okay? And Chinese, as I already mentioned again and again, where is all these internal art people? When General Qi Ji Guang fight the pirate, when the iYikKam, the martial monk of Shaolin, the moon emptiness, check in the history, sacrificed himself fighting the Japanese pirate in 1500. Where the heck is all these internal people? Where is it Taoist or anybody with this a special force or anything? So for me is, I get offended, not because of me, but are you serious? Do you think that you know everything about the Chinese, traditional Chinese martial art from the ancient? Okay, so for me is that this type of superiority complex get me to make this video, and I want to reveal all this thing to you guys. Here on, drop the thing. Wing Chun don't need this. Wing Chun do not need to be a second-class citizen of this so-called internet art people. They can do what they want. Okay? They can call whatever one. They can believe anything religion they want. We Wing Chuners go for facts in the ancient Chinese martial arts and physics. Okay? Now, let's get you to the history. Okay? I want to get you to the history. Let's get back to 1931. 1931. I want to introduce you to Grandmaster Ma Li Tang. So Grandmaster Ma Li Tang studied Xing Yi. His teacher is a very famous Xing Yi Grandmaster at that time. And he also studied with Grandmaster Tu Xing Wu. And he also invited the Grandmasters such as Sun Lu Tang, okay, to teach. And so Grandmaster Ma Li Tang's Sifu is Liu Weixiang, which is one of the top Xing Yi Grandmaster. And then also Tu Xing Wu. Okay? So at his time, you know that traditional Chinese martial art, everybody study from everybody. That is the case over there. And then they actually, at that time, the schoolmate of Ma Li Tang actually fought the Russians challenger. Okay, so it is at this thing. Everybody go to the web and check it, or go translate it. Okay. Now, so the year is in the 1930s. So what did Ma Li Tang do? Ma Li Tang actually wrote an article in the magazine. Okay, he wanted to evolve the Chinese martial arts. The first thing he said, what need to go is the concept of other people is inferior. We are superior, the superiority complex, and other style is actually wrong. We are right. Those kinds of concept. He wants to knock it off from traditional Chinese martial arts. The second thing is to expose, to demystify the myth, mysterious stuff. Okay? The third thing he said is he's opposing to make martial art like a show business. And he proposed that Chinese martial art, traditional martial art, has to be able to strengthen the body and be able to fight. Okay? 1930. Go check in the web, go translate it. Okay? So he studied Shaolin, he studied everything too. Now, we want to base things on this. You see, in 1930 already, there's problem there. And actually, Grandmaster Ma Li Tang have his group, and then of course the so-called the one who want to be mysterious stuff and always have a superiority complex, those kind of thing, get into debate and so forth with his group, which is very practical. He want to practice fighting and so forth, not just sitting down there and talk. Okay, this is 1930, the facts of 1930. So we know already. Like today is the what your 外家内家, or you practice the internal art, your external art guy. What is the facts? It is a problem of the so-called 内家 stuff in China, and it's not what I say, it's in history. 1930. Check on it, okay? And as we know that Grandmaster Ma Li Tang teacher, one is the Liu Weixiang of the Xingyi. He's a very top fighter. He's a very good guy, okay, advanced guy. Another is Grandmaster Du Xingwu. So who is Du Xingwu? Du Xingwu, this is Grandmaster Du Xingwu. Du Xingwu is the bodyguard of the father of modern China, Sun Yat-sen. He is from Ziranmen, another style of martial arts. Grandmaster Du Xingwu is a good friend, a very close friend to a group of people, okay? So he's a good friend of this person, Tan Citong. Tan Citong actually is a reformist, which is try to help Qing dynasty to reform, okay? And so what happened is that this Tan Citong told Du Xingwu, he said the problem with Chinese is because the people need to be educated, okay? Otherwise, it is always backward and get bullied by other people, okay? Now, later on, because of Tan Citong's direct, no-nonsense speaking to the Qing dynasty, okay, actually he's an aide to the emperor Guangxi. They want to do a reform. It turns out that the emperor Cixi do a coup on them, and he was beheaded in Beijing. So Tan Citong was beheaded. Du Xingwu get really, really upset. So Du Xingwu go assassin on the last emperor Cixi. It not successful. So he fled to Japan, and that's why he become the bodyguard of Sun Yat-sen. Okay, so we know from here, at that era, okay, with the like if you watch a movie, you see that, you know, like you're using the Grandmaster Ma Li Tang as the starting of the story. You can see all what is this around. You can see that at that time, since Ma Li Tang, Grandmaster Ma Li Tang went to university. Okay, he's called graduate type of people, educated. He want to reform the Chinese martial arts, and the people Grandmaster Ma Li Tang be with is people like Du Xingwu, the real revolutionist, a real grandmaster of Xingyi, Liu Weixiang, and he know all this, like Sun Lutang, this grandmaster who actually at that time is quote unquote the internal martial art or the Neijia people. Okay? Now, the reason I tell you this is this. Don't make an assumption that any art is more advanced than Wing Chun. Don't. And don't need to get other people's stuff. Okay? As you see in 1931, in this environment of China, in this case, if we center around the Grandmaster Ma Li-Tang, is Du Xingwu from the internal art Nei Jia Quan. No, he's from Ziranmen, and they relate to Shaolin. So again, now I'm questioning, where is all the so-called Nei Jia Grandmaster? When Qi Ji Guang fought the Japanese pirate, where are you guys? When the iYikKam sacrificed himself, fighting, he's from Shaolin, where are you? When this Grandmaster Du Xingwu go because of he loved his country, go assassinate the Cixi, the last empress, where are you guys? And why is Grandmaster Ma Li-Tang, who studied internal art or Nei Jia Quan, who is very famous in it, one reform? And he particularly said that he wanted to throw away the concept of always other people is no good, I'm right, you are wrong, I'm more superior, you're inferior, those kind of stuff. Okay? Now, so I tell you this is to show you that I am not come out from blue. I base what I'm talking about from the history. Okay? And because of this person asked me, what would a Wing Chun practitioner know about martial arts, internal art? Well, how much do I know? Okay? You see the history? And right now I want to tell you what those people who in internal art don't know. Okay? When I mean internal art, it's internal art today. But people like Dr. Ma Li-Tang, Grandmaster Ma Li-Tang know. And today we can put it in perspective, systematically, in physics. Okay? Because this is international stuff already, okay? Worldwide. Okay? So I don't like to bully people. That's why I say that what I'm doing is for open source. I want to help everybody. But when people get into this kind of stuff, well, let's show off the cut. Open all the cuts and see what everybody have. Okay? This is not China 1930. Okay, when there are a whole bunch of stuff, people can do whatever they want. This is 2017. We better stood solid on our feet. Now, in my book, The Basic Ancient Wing Chun, the art and science, the 6.13.3, the 6 core element. Okay, that already clearly present to you what is really going on there. Okay. Anybody want to read about Qi? Go to chapter 5. That's what it is. Okay. Don't listen to anybody, but that's what it is, because we track this with all this history records and all this Chinese medicines and everything. Okay, and the Chinese Neigong practice. Okay, we do not discriminate people, race, or school, but we do not accept to be like a second-class citizen. Okay. Also, if you want to know about Jing, it's in the chapter of the strength, chapter 4, and then everything's there already in physics. Now, so the theory, the core is within it. And today I want to get into details to tell you what it is. Okay? So here on, you don't talk about, oh, I want to issue energy. Even those who really expert in this thing, know clearly what it is in the past, such as people like Grandmaster Mali in terms of physics. Okay? So, Qi is energy. Jing is force in Western sense. Okay? We have a clear definition here which I want to show it to you. So you know that. Don't buy into those, I want to practice this internal art and I have this energy. No, there's no such thing. Energy is only like the fuel of your car. You need your mechanics, you need your engine to get the force. Okay? So, I want to show you these definitions. Because it does have a clear definition what it is. Okay, so what is Jing? So I put it here up here so that you can freeze the frame if you want. That's what it is. Okay, so you can freeze your frame, I can tell you that. Jing, or force, is a flexible or lively application of strength. Meaning you need to have strength. Disregard of you have a physical strength or whatever your strength comes from. The force Jing is just a flexible application or lively application of it. That's Jing. It's nothing mysterious, nothing to do with Qi at all. Qi is energy, force is force, energy is energy. Anybody study physics know about that, okay? Now, Jing is based on strength, we know it. If you don't have strength, forget about your Jing. So, say if you push me, I make use of your action and reaction force. That is still using your strength. Okay? If there's no strength, no strength to begin with, what is the force? You know, force is a vector quantity. Okay? There's an amplitude and there's a direction. Now, Jing is a result of intentionally, this is where the yi or intention come in. Control the mechanics of the physical body. So again, Jing is a result of intentionally control the mechanic of the physical body. Jing or force is a result of intentionally control the mechanic of the physical body. Very simple sense. If I use my muscle to generate a strength to push, this is all mechanics. And I use this mechanic to deal with the action and reaction force in a very flexible way. And of course, I use my mind, my intention to control how I want it to be. That's how you generate Jing or you handle Jing. But it has to be based on force. Over here, I have to use my muscle. If I don't use my muscle, what are you talking about? Okay? And we know in physics, Newtonian physics, force equal to what? Mass and accelerations. You cannot get force from thin air, okay? So forget about all this energy, Qi, I have this Qi in my body and I have this Jing. We need to know clearly what the heck is going on. Because this is one proposing, what I'm sharing is engineering. You can develop it, okay? And another thing which is people usually get confused is this loose or song is the mean. So what is song is about? Song is just the mean to improve the effectiveness of physical mechanic control. Meaning that Example, if I use my muscle here to generate the strength, and then I use this mechanics, okay, to play with action-reaction force. Okay, that is what the Jing is about. And then of course I have to use my mind to tell my hand what to do. Okay? And of course, if my joints is rigid, fixed, then I'll have very low efficiency or effectiveness to use this strength to produce the force which I like. Okay? So loose is just for that in terms of Jing. Biomechanics, physics, okay? Don't think other thing. There's no such thing other thing, what energy or anything. It's just that. Now, I want to show you what is the Jing in physics. Again, I put it down here so that you can freeze the screen. So Jing is a time-dependent changing force in the 3D space. Put it in physics, okay? Say if this is the force due to the conditions and due to your mechanics, you change it. That's what Jing is. Energy is to support mechanics, like the fuel of your car, to support the rotations of your wheel and the move of your car. But the fuel is not the force. Okay? So when we talk, we need to be really specific. Are we talking about force or are we talking about fuel? Okay? Instead of, because this is internal, everything is energy. Energy what? Are you refill your fuel? Or you filling up your gasoline tank? Or are you managing the force? If you're not clear with that, then what are you doing? You're guessing. Maybe in somewhere part of the world you're okay. In Silicon Valley, you do that, you get fired. Because we need to know what is what. And not even in Silicon Valley. 500 years ago, if you work with General Guang with all this clouded-minded and fuzzy-minded and do not know what happened, how can he have 99.7% efficiency when he fought he make war with the Japanese pirate? If you want 99.7% of effectiveness and efficiencies to fight the Japanese pirate, you better know what is the difference between fuel and the strength or the force. Okay? It's not that I want to get rough and do this thing. Is that we need to have a clear mind. This is martial art. Wing Chun is not some kind of joke or some kinds of mysterious belief. Oh, I believe this. Okay? Or because of I'm Wing Chun, I'm more superior than you. Okay? We don't. We base everything on physics, biomechanics. And that's why we do not have pressure. We don't have a full loaded of pressure like we have to prove our belief. What to prove? Do you have to prove that the existence of the gravitational force? Do you have to prove that? You don't. The gravity is gravity. And we want to make it like that way. The gasoline of your car is the gasoline of your car. The engine is the engine. The shock absorber is shock absorber. There's nothing you need to prove. Okay? People get the problem is because when I believe so, I think so, my internal is better than you, my force flow is higher than you. But guess what? When you get the MMA match, you get KO with 10 seconds. Because people in MMA do not care for your belief, okay? Or do not care for your philosophy. It's just like your car. There's a difference between the engine, the transmission, that, or your car run out of gasoline. If you run out of gasoline, then you feel the gasoline. If the transmission is the gearbox is damaged, then you fix the gearbox. That's what it has to be. So this is what Jing is about in today's scientific in physics. Okay, the force. Okay, so it's here. So again, Jing is a time-dependent changing force in a 3D space. We want to get into this physics. Why? Because we want, like General Chi 99.7% of efficiency and effectiveness to implement it. We don't leave room for, oh, you believe me, I believe you. This is not religion. Now, we say that Jing is a time-dependent changing force. Now I want to introduce you to another thing, which is actually in the basic Wing Chun book. Okay, I'll show you this here. So the issue is that many people do not read it carefully. So in the book, there is something called impulse here. Impulse. Okay? This is very critical stuff. Okay? And impulse, actually, impulse is the thing which is in physics, which we can clearly explain the Chinese inch power, short power, or zero distance power, those kind of stuff. Okay? So, let's get into this. Freeze the screen if you want. Okay. So, impulse. This is impulse. The entire area of that. This is, you see that there's Ft here. Ft. Okay, this is the impulse. This is the formula for that. Now, you see this thing. This is momentum. And this is impulse, which is the change of momentum. Okay? Now, if you look at this, like the same person sitting in a car, he get into accident. This one do not have an airbag, do not have a seat belt. This one have an airbag, have a seat belt. Okay? So as we know from these equations, okay, this impulse stuff is the product of the Ft. Now, with this one, where there is no seat belt and there's no airbag, the person slam at the driving wheel right away, instantaneously, and you can see the time of release is really short, and since this is a product Ft, the force get really the amplitude of the force get really high, but it's in a very short period of time. That is what the Chinese call as inch power. Okay? Or short power. Or somebody sometimes call it internal Jing, those kind of stuff. This thing, if this guy have a seat belt and have an airbag, he's gonna slam into the airbag, and guess what? The time right now is long. The time of the release of the force is long, and you see the amplitude of the force is lower compared with this thing. Okay, so the same momentum, same impulse. This one have a high force with a short time. This is for have a long force. A long time with a much lower force. That's why in the accident, this guy might die. This guy won't. Okay, because of the time of release. Now, the Chinese have defined long, 长经, long Jing, and short Jing that way, if we present that in physics. Okay? So as we know that the long Jing, because it is have a long time and the force is less, so think about what? Like a car crash. It's gradually crushed and then the car get pushed away. So with the long strike, long Jing, you move things away. With the short Jing, because the force is so high, whether in the very instantaneously releasing it, it penetrates. Okay? Now, what is this got to do with internal and qi? It got nothing to do with internal and qi. It's just a matter of control, the time. You need to generate an impulse and you control the time. That's all. Believe it or not, we can program an AI robot today to do that. You can go to the lab to do that. So it got nothing to do with I have to develop this internal qi. For example, you have the same tank of the fuel in your car, same the same full tank of gasoline in your car. You can travel the same speed, and you get the accident. If you have an airbag, the release of the force have a long time, and you have less force there, less force amplitude, so you won't die when you crash. You get pushed away. But if you don't have that seat belt or the airbag, you're gonna slam right away, and all the force get into your body with in the instantaneous time release and with the high force, and you're gonna cause internal injury and might die. So is this have got anything to do with your fuel, which is the qi or the energy? Or it just got to do with one guy is smart enough to have the airbag and the seat belt, and the other guy don't know about that? So tell me, where is the internal art stuff or internal Jing stuff, where we can replicate this even with machine? We know exactly where it is. Okay? So speaking with this, I want to show you. Okay, don't buy into those. I have to practice this internal Jing, internal qi. I have to have this mind power to deliver this stuff. Wing Chun have all this, and Wing Chun do not have to go to those mumbo jumbo. Okay. Let me show you what exactly it is. But before that, I want to tell you one thing. We know Wing Chun is from Buddhism, and a lot of we Chinese martial art is from Buddhism. First thing, we train ourselves and our body. We get good at our art, but we don't bully other people. We don't look down on other people. We go to the facts. If we screw, we say we screw up. But we don't look down on other people. That is the moral. That's the moral. And we need to follow that. Instead of get any kind of superiority complex there and keeping, putting one up in the sky than other people. So I don't want what I'm sharing to hurt other people. I want everybody to understand this is an art, this is a physics. Okay? And we all have no burden because it's all based on physics. I don't have to prove that I'm the grandmaster, and you don't have to prove yourself that you are a Wing Chuner belief, because we all based on physics, based on the Yellow Emperor Classic of the China. It's not based on because I'm Wing Chun or I joined the Wing Chun club, so I'm this and that. No, we're based on technology. So there's no burden. If I lose, like General Chi Guang said, you have this technology, you know this momentum, you know the key point, you go experiment with it. If you lose, no big deal. If you win, no big deal. But just, the key is to find out what is the cause effect, why this happened. That's all. So it got nothing to do with, I'm going to fight you, I'm going to win, okay? And then, or, you know what? I have this internal power inside that you don't have. Get rid of that. Those are just burden, and it's going to put you into a extreme thing. You look at now, today, people play computer, everybody's happy. Why do we want to get into the martial art and get really unhappy every day? Every day is because I'm more superior complex than you, or I'm more superior than you, getting this superior complex. And to be honest, I'm tired of making video like that, like this one. The reason I make it is because I don't want to see people get bullied. Okay? I don't think anybody is deserved to get bullied as a second-class citizen, especially the Wing Chuners. So I'm going to show you what it is. Long Jing is like this strike. I move my body, I generate the force. Okay, remember that I need to have a strength to have a Jing. Strength, and then I convert that to the force I want. That's the Jing. And this is long because I'm moving my body part. Okay? This is long. For example, when you push something, you have the strength, you're pushing. If your body is loose, when you're pushing, what it does is only to improve the effectiveness or efficiency of your force transfer and your handling. That's all. There's nothing internal or external. That's what it is. Okay? Because we live in the human world. Now, that's Long Jing. Okay? Short Jing, or to create the impulse. Remember, with the high amplitude, the force from amplitude based on the impulse. It's exactly like what Grandmaster Yip said in his interview. Hammer. When I hammer the nail inside there, see that impulse? That's all. That's the short Jing. Because that controls the time of release. The time of release. Okay? So, you don't have to go to this internal and chi and all this kind of thing. If you follow Grandmaster Yip that is already short Jing. You don't have to do all this thing and then, oh yeah, see this is the short Jing or the internal Jing. You don't have to do that. You just have to control the timing of the release. And the loose of the body is for your more effective and efficient handling of this control, of the time of the release of the impulse. Okay? That got nothing to do with the energy in my body, got nothing to do with all this meridian stuff. It's like all this meridian and energy is like the fuel or the gasoline of the car. Whether this impact or whether this short impact, what type of this impact wearing the seat belt or non-seat belt, that is just controlled by the mechanics. Okay? So the whole entire thing is like that. So when you look at Bruce Lee, like usually we demo the inch punch. Okay? You see that he uses real leg to push forward. That is long Jing, because by that the time of the release of the impulse get longer, so the guy fly away. But if you do this, that is the short Jing, because the release of the impulse is short. So usually when people do this, you say, oh, this is inch power. You see this push, or the in power, they put the other side, using the front foot to put back. That's all long Jing, by definition of the ancient, and clearly described with physics. Impulse, okay? The release of the impulse, the time release of the impulse. The reason why Wing Chun need the short Jing is because Wing Chun is a sticking body short strike up. It is here. And over here, you don't have all the, like people have a long play here, have the distance to play. It doesn't. So Wing Chun is in this area. It doesn't have all those spacing. So it has to turn out to use what? Torque and snapping to produce this impact, this impulse, this very high amplitude, short release time force. It's over here. Otherwise the body is not agile enough to be able to fight in this zone. Okay? So I hope you understand that. You don't want to do this. This is long fist, okay? This is long fist, long Jing, because you're moving up your body. And that slow down the thing. And over here, you're using the torque and the snap mechanics to produce the impulse. And it is true that the zero or distant punch or whatever do not use your body. No, it's not true. Because in the generations of the strength, remember, no matter what you do, if you have an impulse is a change of momentum. You still need a momentum. Momentum is mv, mass multiplied by with the velocity, and force is ma. Don't tell me that you still there, don't move, and you can just internal chi, and then you can derail that. That doesn't exist in this world. Okay. So the generate of the strength is two things. One is your muscle. Another one is your body weight moving. That's how you want to release the impulse. What is the durations, the length of the time to release the impulse, to create a long strength changing or the short strike penetrations? That is the mechanic handling. That is not to do with I want to use muscle or I want to use my body weight. And also, you go to see all this push hand and everything. You look at the guy who's big, very heavy, have a big muscle, especially the shoulder muscle. They win. Why? Because it's based on strength. If you don't believe me, you get anybody who is skinny, older, you go get him to go, no matter how high his internal power, just go do a push hand with a big guy with a big muscle and see who wins. And the bottom line is this: if I can generate my force here, because I'm big muscle, or I can generate my force here in the forearm. Why do I have to go through the whole body, going down to the ground, all this kind of thing? I don't. I just go smack you from here. While the guy who is skinnier and have less weight has to do what? Has to go with the whole body to counter that thing. That's why Wing Chun say, I don't want it. Lat Sao Jai Chou, Lat Sao meaning I don't want to do that, to deal with this thing. Lat Sao, disengage. I don't want to deal with this whatever come, I just go in. Because my point is to strike it. Lin Xiu Dai Da, I'm not going to push hand with you. Because I cannot push hand with you if your arm is double the size, the muscle here, double the size of my arm. That means I have to use the full body force. That means I'm going to be slower than you to generate this power, this strength. That is the physical limitations. So, do you want me to believe on this internal Jing, internal Ji? I don't. Why? Because you have to base on the physical limitation. You know exactly what mechanics, like what I said, is long Jing, short Jing, long force, short force. This only refer to how long or how short you release your impulse. That's Newtonian physics. So that's why when I said that people can study this in 5 days. Why do I can get that? Because I know all this mechanics. I have worked out all this thing. And that's why I said we need to follow this. Okay, Wing Chuners, we don't need those. If we don't even know what create what cause what, it's hopeless. It's always like a sifu going to play a student, then the student let the sifu play. Like the Chinese MMA guy in Beijing said, all of your demonstrations or internal stuff is only you play with your kids, your student. Like you're going down to the MMA, the Taiwanese Chinese MMA saying the same thing. And today we are one present to you here is this. Number one, this is the bottom line. So we don't need to talk about this internal or external stuff. Okay, get rid of that because a lot of those are just superiority complex. Doesn't mean anything. The second thing, forget about this chi power. We know exactly how to generate the strength based on your based on your weight or based on your muscle. We know exactly how much penetration we can control. Or how far I can push this thing away, because we know the timing, we know the mechanics of control the impulse release. We also know how this 12 meridians flow according to Yo and Lacazette. We don't have to invent anything. That's what our Shilin Talk had. So this is to share with you today, and here on, let's get rid of this chi internal stuff. Get the 6 core elements, 6, 13, 3, follow the physics. Okay? Because there's no point to always be somebody's second-class citizens and the first-class guy doesn't know anything anyway. Okay? So this is for you today.